To understand our history helps guide us in the decisions we make every day today. Vincent de Paul and Louise de Marillac joined forces to really establish the very first form of charity care and health care for the poor and underserved. Their legacy lives on today here in the ministries in Indiana and throughout the world. Over 150 years ago, the Daughters of Charity came to Evansville to form their ministry there. And then in 1881, came to Central Indiana to establish a faith-based Catholic healthcare hospital here in Indianapolis. Later, the Daughters of Charity came together with the Sisters of St. Joseph and the Sisters of the Holy Cross to form the Central Indiana Health System. They have been the sponsors for the ministries throughout Indiana now for over 150 years. Living the principles, living the values, living the mission established by the Daughters of Charity is critical to who we are. It is how we make decisions, and it is the foundation for our mission then and our mission today.
The Daughters of Charity, the Sisters of St. Joseph, and the Sisters of the Holy Cross turned it over to the laity, people like you and me, and said, we really trust you to carry on this ministry. And the way that we entrust you to do that is to please stay in fidelity to the original mission, rooting ourselves in the loving ministry of Jesus as healer. As the Church's ministry of healthcare, we commit to promote and defend human dignity, attend to the whole person, care for poor and vulnerable persons, promote the common good, act on behalf of justice, steward resources, and serve as a ministry of the Church.
When I think about justice, I think about giving people what they're due. Knowing that you're doing something to help them get through their situation. Utilities, housing, food, clothing, shelter. We do help around 13,000 individuals in a year's time. This is the first job that I've actually loved coming to every single day. I feel like this is the first time I'm actually feeling like I'm doing something good and continuing to do something good for our communities.
Stewardship is more than just buildings and budgets. Stewardship is really carrying forth a legacy of meeting the needs of our community. And our college serves that need by graduating highly skilled, very competent, compassionate professionals. Our students are fully immersed into our culture. They are part of who we are as not only a healthcare organization, but a faith-based organization. They are not only learning the technical skill of their profession, but they are also learning how to care for the patient as a whole, so that when they graduate, they fully live out the mission and core values of Ascension St. Vincent more than a student from any traditional college could.
When I think about human dignity and the common good, two programs that I think align with those values are our cardio-obstetric program and our nurse navigator program. Both of those programs, I think, are wonderful examples of what we're trying to achieve here at Ascension St. Vincent. We offer the same wonderful care to every patient that walks in our doors. And that starts, obviously, with the mother and extends to her newborn, to her child, and then to her family. And that has been at the core of what Ascension St. Vincent has promoted forever, which is promoting human dignity. It is who we are.
When you go back to what is the core of why we're here, everybody connects to that. They might have their own individual reason why they connect to the mission, but when you see it in practice from a wide variety of different specialties within a hospital system, that moment where you all feel connected to the bigger why is the high five moment. That's why I'm here, that's why I hope that you're here, and I hope that we can live the mission deeper and more authentically every day.
What it means to care for the poor and the vulnerable. What does it mean to steward resources? What does it mean to serve as a ministry of the church? How are we living that out? How do we measure ourselves? How do we hold ourselves accountable? And how do we practice who we say we are?
I would ask everyone, every day, to take that time through prayer and reflection at the beginning of a meeting, through quiet meditation, to reflect on the fact of why we're here and who we're here to represent. To always remember that we are a mission-driven organization, and that mission is to provide care in the loving ministry as Jesus is a healer.